Open your book to page 355. So today's lesson is on factoring completely. So again, you already learned all the steps that you need already. So right now, you just have to have the discipline of going through the list. So make sure every problem, okay, when you're doing the factoring, make sure you go step 1, do the common factor. Then you go to step 2, special factor. Now, special factor has 3 types, right? The 2 terms, 3 terms, or others, right? So 2, 3, or more, right? And don't worry about the cube, okay? You're going to learn this when you get to Algebra 2, okay? And then after that, you step 4, master product, okay? So every problem, you must go through those steps, okay? Or else you're going to get yourself in trouble. So let's go over some examples. So example 1. You have 27x to the 3 minus 12y squared. 27x to the 2. Okay. So step 1, common factor. So what you need to do is look at the number 27 and 12. You can factor out the 3. The variable cannot because you don't have y here, you don't have the x over here, right? Common factor is what do they have in common. So they have to have in both. Okay. So factor out the 3, you're going to get 9x squared minus 4y squared. So that's your step 1, common factor. Now you go to step 2, special factor. Okay, so this is perfect square, perfect square, perfect square, perfect square. So all these are square. So this is step 2a. Okay, so step 2a. So difference of squares, you factor into conjugates. So to get 9, you need to get 3 and 3, right? 3 times 3 give you 9. And you need to have x and x give you x squared. Plus and minus give you minus. And you get 2 and 2. 2 times 2 give you 4. And y times y give you y squared. And that's it. So this is step 1, step 2. Step 2a. Okay, go to example 2. You got 3x to the 3. Now make sure you arrange in correct order first. Plus 5x squared minus 27x minus 45. Okay, so step 1, common factor. Check the numbers. Cannot, right? 3 and 5, there's nothing in common, right? So variable, cannot. This one has no variable. So step 1, cannot. So you go to step 2, special factors. Now when you have 4 terms, means you have to do the grouping. So you're going to get 3x cubed plus 5x squared. Now remember, for grouping, you always put a plus between the 2 groups. And you have negative 27x minus 45. So step 1. Okay, again, you go back to, now this becomes 2 easier problem. So you have to start all over again. So step 1, common factor. You can factor out the x squared. So you're going to get 3x plus 5. Okay, over here, when you have a negative, you must factor out the negative. So this one you can factor out the negative 9. So this becomes 3x plus 5. Again, you need to check your signs. Right? Negative 9 times 3 give you negative 27. Negative 9 times 5 give you negative 45. Okay, so now you can bring both together. Now you got 3x plus 5 and 3x plus 5. So you can go and factor out the 3x plus 5. And the leftover would be x squared minus 9. Now when you have a square, you have to keep checking. Okay, so again, go back to step 1, and you go to step 2. So you keep doing until you have no more square. Okay, now sometimes when you have square, you cannot factor, then that's it, right? But when you have a square, you have to keep checking. So that is your difference of squares. You have to factor into conjugates. So that you're going to have x and x to get x squared. Plus times minus give you minus. 3 times 3 give you 9. Okay, and that's it. That's normal square. That's how you know it's done. Okay, now let's go to example 3. Okay, let's go to example 3. You have 5x squared plus 10x minus 40. So step 1, common factor, 5, 10, and 40. you can factor out the 5. So that's your step 1. So you go to step 2. 3 times, you check for perfect squares. Perfect square, so it's good. Perfect square, no. So this is not it. So step 2, no good. So you go to step 4, master product. Okay, so master product, so you got 2, negative 8. So go 1 comma negative 8, 2 comma negative 4. So over here you can see that you need to get 4 comma negative 2. Okay, so you can get x, x. So now there's no number in front, so whatever you see is whatever you get. So plus 4 minus 2, right? Plus 4 minus 2, and that's it. So you're done. Okay, let's go to example 4. You have a to the 4 minus b to the 4. So step 1, common factor, cannot. So step 2, special factor, yes, this is a square and square, right? Again, when the exponent is even, it's a perfect square. Okay, so to get a to the 4, you need to get a squared and a squared, right? So a squared times a squared give you a to the 4. Plus times minus give you minus. And b squared times b squared give you b to the 4. Now do not use a and a to the 3, okay? Because special factoring is you have to get conjugates. So if you have a and a3, then it's not conjugate. Okay, now remember what I said, right? When you have a square, you have to keep checking. Can you factor this? No, right? This is sum, so it's not factorable. But this is a difference of square again. So this one you have to do it one more time. So leave the first part alone. But this one, you can do it one more time. Okay? So to get a squared, you're going to get a and a, right? A times a give you a squared. Plus times minus give you minus. B times b give you b squared. And that's it. Okay? Okay, so let's go and do some practice.